The bold and the beautiful spoilers. Luna's next move, Deacon shrinks the shrink. The bold and the beautiful B&B spoilers for Monday, October 27th, tease an episode charged with confrontation, manipulation, and emotional risk. The drama shifts between two parallel storylines, one unfolding behind prison bars as Luna Nozoa's reckless plan spirals out of control, and another at Il Giardino, where Deacon Sharp's unexpected challenge to Taylor Hayes changes the tone of their relationship forever. As the fallout from Luna's schemes continues to shake the Spencer and Forrester families, the question is simple but devastating. How far will each of these characters go to prove a point, to reclaim love, or to feel in control again? Let's unpack what's coming. Luna Nozowa's next move, a dangerous descent into manipulation. Luna Nozowa Lisa Yamada has spent the last few weeks behind bars, but her time in prison hasn't taught her humility or patience. Instead, Luna seems to be digging deeper into the very behavior that destroyed her freedom in the first place: deceit and desperation. On Monday's episode, Luna takes a reckless gamble, one that could endanger both her health and her unborn child. Believing that she can manipulate her situation the same way she once manipulated Spencer, Crumoro, Luna turns to her cellmate with an unthinkable request: to beat her up again. This is no impulsive tantrum. Luna's plan is deliberate and chilling. She's convinced that if she sustains visible injuries, Will, still emotionally tied to her and the pregnancy, will demand her release from prison once more. She's banking on his guilt, his protectiveness, and his youth. But what Luna doesn't realize is that the tides have turned against her. Bill Spencer sees through the act. Bill Spencer, Don Diamant, ever the shrewd patriarch, has seen every trick in the book, and Luna's latest stunt is no exception. He may have once fallen for her manipulative charm and acted rashly to secure her release, but that mistake cost him dearly. Luna's freedom the first time led directly to more chaos: the assault on Will, the pregnancy scandal, and the rift that now divides the Spencer family. This time, Bill isn't playing the savior. He knows Luna's wounds are self-inflicted or, worse, orchestrated. His instincts as a father and grandfather reveal the truth. Luna is using sympathy as a weapon to regain control. Instead of seeing a vulnerable young woman in distress, Bill now sees a dangerous manipulator who's using her pregnancy as leverage. And Bill is done being her pawn. According to spoilers, Bill will take a drastic step to stop Luna's games once and for all, a move that may both protect and punish her. Rumor has it he'll recommend that Luna be moved into solitary confinement, cutting off her ability to influence others or create more chaos. It's a cold, calculated decision, but in Bill's mind, it's the only way to ensure the safety of both Luna's unborn child and his son, Will's emotional sanity. Steffi Forrester issues a stern warning. While Bill struggles to manage Luna's manipulative streak, Steffi Forrester, Jacqueline McInnes Wood, enters the scene with her own fiery brand of justice. Fresh off a confrontation with Luna, Steffi is no longer willing to sit back and watch this young woman wreak havoc on the people she cares about. Steffi's motivations are complicated. On one hand, she sees herself as the protector of the Forrester legacy, and Luna, with her schemes and obsession with Will, poses a direct threat to that stability. On the other hand, Steffi has a personal stake in this battle. She's watched the Spencers spiral from within, and she refuses to let another unstable figure undo what little peace remains between their families. Spoilers suggest Steffi will corner Bill for a private conversation, demanding that he stop enabling Luna once and for all. She's furious that Luna continues to manipulate Will, and she knows the young man is too soft-hearted to see through the act. Her warning is clear. If Bill wavers if he lets Luna manipulate him again, Steffi will take matters into her hands. Steffi's protective instincts have always been sharp, but this time her anger carries the edge of someone who's been pushed too far. Luna may think she's clever, but Steffi Forrester Finnegan isn't a woman easily outplayed. Luna's lies, solitary consequences. As the tension escalates, Luna's web of deceit begins to choke her from within. The prison guards are starting to catch on. Her fellow inmates whisper about her manipulative streak, and even her cellmate, once willing to help for a price, begins to question the sanity of Luna's requests. When Bill's order for solitary confinement comes down, Luna's shock is palpable. She expected sympathy. Instead, she's met with silence and a locked door. The symbolism is potent. Solitary confinement, while framed as a protective measure, becomes the physical manifestation of Luna's emotional isolation. For the first time, there's no one left to manipulate. No Bill, no Will, no accomplices. Just Luna, her unborn child, and her conscience. Will this forced solitude finally spark self-reflection? Or will Luna's resentment grow, pushing her further into darkness? For now, Luna's next move remains unpredictable, but history tells us she's far from finished scheming. Deacon Sharp turns the tables on Taylor Hayes. While Luna's story spirals into isolation and punishment, another kind of tension brews across town, one rooted not in manipulation, but in emotional truth. At Il Giardino, Deacon Sharp, Sean Cannon, engages in a conversation with Dr. Taylor Hayes, Rebecca Budig, where the roles are unexpectedly reversed. Deacon, long known as the charming ex-con who wears his heart on his sleeve, has often turned to Taylor for advice and grounding. But this time, he's not the one seeking counsel. He's the one asking the questions. Taylor, still reeling from recent emotional turbulence, is caught off guard when Deacon shifts the conversation to her personal life, and specifically her lingering attachment to Ridge Forrester, Torsten K. Deacon's direct and straightforward approach penetrates Taylor's professional barriers. You're always there for everyone else, Taylor. But what about you? Why keep waiting for a man who's never fully chosen you? The words land with weight. Taylor has spent years orbiting Ridge's gravitational pull, hoping for commitment only to watch him return to Brooke time and time again. Her self-worth, often entangled with Ridge's approval, has been the quiet tragedy of her story. And Deacon sees it clearly. Deacon challenges Taylor's idea of love. Deacon's perspective is both refreshing and disruptive. He's not from Taylor's world of prestige and emotional restraint. His view of love is raw, flawed, but authentic, shaped by his mistakes and redemptions. He admits to Taylor that he once spent years chasing the wrong version of love, mistaking obsession and guilt for connection. In his eyes, Taylor is making the same mistake with Ridge, waiting for a man who doesn't deserve her patience. You keep analyzing everyone else's relationships, Deacon says softly, but maybe it's time you analyze your own. This moment becomes one of the most emotionally charged exchanges between the two characters to date. What begins as a therapy-like chat transforms into something intimate. Two wounded people seeing each other clearly for the first time. And that recognition ignites something unexpected. An almost kiss that changes everything. As the conversation deepens, the energy between Taylor and Deacon shifts. The emotional walls crack, replaced by a quiet vulnerability neither of them saw coming. The air thickens with unspoken attraction. According to the episode preview, the two lean in, not out of lust, but out of mutual understanding. For a heartbeat, the distance between them dissolves. Then, just before their lips meet, Taylor hesitates. The camera lingers on her face, torn between professionalism and desire, logic and longing. It's a moment that encapsulates everything Taylor's been fighting against. The yearning to be considered a woman, not a therapist, not a mother, not a martyr for Ridge's affection. Whether or not they actually kiss remains to be seen. But what's clear is that something fundamental has shifted. Deacon's challenge forces Taylor to question her true desires and why she consistently settles for less. For Deacon, the near kiss reawakens his old charm, but this time it's grounded in sincerity. A crossroads for both stories. What makes Monday's episode so compelling is how it weaves two very different journeys, Luna's downward spiral and Taylor's potential awakening, into a shared theme, self-deception. Luna refuses to face the consequences of her actions, clinging to manipulation as a survival tactic. Taylor, meanwhile, hides behind emotional control, afraid to take a leap that might make her vulnerable. Deacon and Bill serve as foils in this dynamic, both men testing the women in their orbit, forcing them to confront uncomfortable truths. Bill refuses to indulge Luna's lies, and Deacon refuses to let Taylor hide behind her professional calm. In both cases, the women are being stripped of illusions. Luna's about power, Taylor's about love. Luna's solitary reflection, a turning point or a breakdown. By the episode's end, Luna's storyline reaches a breaking point. Confined to a small, sterile cell, she finds herself haunted by her own echo, the sound of her choices reverberating in silence. The guard's footsteps fade, and for once, there's no one to perform for. It's in this isolation that Luna may begin to unravel or rebuild. Some spoilers hint that Luna's confinement will lead to hallucinations or flashbacks. Perhaps visions of Will, or even her mother, Poppy, urging her to take responsibility. Others suggest that Luna will sink deeper into bitterness, convinced that everyone has betrayed her. Either way, Monday's episode sets up the next phase of her transformation, a psychological battle that may determine whether she emerges repentant or more dangerous than ever. Taylor and Deacon, a spark worth exploring. Meanwhile, Deacon and Taylor's scene lays groundwork for something long overdue. Two characters who've spent years on the fringes of others' love stories, finally stepping into their own. Deacon's boldness may just be what Taylor needs, a reminder that love doesn't have to come from perfection. It can come from honesty, even if it's messy. If the writers decide to explore this pairing, it could open up new emotional terrain for both. Deacon, who has lost Brooke and his sense of belonging, finds someone who understands how he feels. Taylor, after years of self-denial, finds someone who challenges her instead of idolizing her. Whether or not they cross the romantic line, their bond already feels like a quiet revolution. Two broken hearts daring to see themselves in each other. The bigger picture, consequences and new beginnings. Monday's Bold and the Beautiful doesn't just deliver drama. It sets the stage for a broader thematic reset. For Luna, her narrative reveals how manipulation consistently crumbles under its own gravity. Her descent into solitude is both punishment and invitation, a chance to evolve if she dares. For Bill, it's a test of conviction. Can he truly separate compassion from weakness, or will Luna's continued presence chip away at his resolve? For Steffi, her protective rage positions her as both hero and enforcer. But in soap fashion, her intensity could spark its own backlash. For Deacon and Taylor, their emotional dance may mark the beginning of an unexpected love story, or a new wave of scandal that shakes Los Angeles' most tangled web of relationships. Final thoughts. The October 27th episode of The Bold and the Beautiful isn't just another day in the Forrester Spencer world. It's a study in pressure. Every character is being tested. Luna by confinement, Taylor by temptation, Bill by conscience, and Steffi by loyalty. Luna's desperation, once her weapon, has become her cage. Taylor's restraint, once her strength, may soon become her weakness. Feel free to share any video requests in the comments. I'll try to make a video about it. Stay connected with the Glammed Rebel for all the latest updates, spoilers, and deep dive recaps. See you in the next video. Stay safe and healthy. May God keep you safe. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to turn on the notification bell button for daily updates.